This video explores the complex governance and social dimensions of modern projects, especially those involving multiple organizations, overlapping roles, and diverse stakeholder groups. It highlights the need for a governance framework, the relevance of governmentality, a concept from social theory, and the limitations of relying solely on tools or structures in managing human dynamics. Let's break it down and provide real-world examples. First, the concept of projects with overlapping roles and responsibilities. Large-scale projects often involve cross-functional teams, contractors, consultants, and partner organizations. Overlapping roles can lead to confusion, conflict, or duplication of work unless responsibilities are clarified early in the project. This demands effort at the start of a project to define the project's value, objectives, and purpose. In other words, projects with overlapping roles and responsibilities have many actors with unclear duties. One example is the Airbus A380 development of 2000 to 2007, a mega engineering project spread across multiple European countries with distinct corporate cultures, tools, different CAD systems, and political influences. Governance had to span across national and organizational boundaries, a classic case of needing distinct project governance. The initial lack of integration and clarity in roles led to delays and massive cost overruns. Eventually, improved governance structures and shared technical platforms helped stabilize coordination, but Airbus announced it would cease production by 2021 due to lack of demand. Successful projects have a governance framework. Governance frameworks define how decisions are made, how risks are managed, who reports to whom, and how value is tracked. Unlike corporate governance, which focuses on board oversight and shareholder value, project governance must span multiple organizations, each with its own culture, tools, and systems. An example is the California High-Speed Rail project, which began construction in 2012 and is still underway, involving federal and state agencies, multiple contractors, environmental groups, and community stakeholders, all with overlapping influence. Project governance is needed to coordinate across these groups and address indirect impacts like land use, environmental justice, and regional politics. The project is not without problems in that political and community opposition, delays, and budget concerns show how governance and stakeholder misalignment can hinder progress. The current goal is to deliver an operational Central Valley segment targeting speeds of up to 220 miles per hour by the early 2030s, with plans to eventually expand to a full San Francisco-Los Angeles line. Beyond the core team are the indirect stakeholders. Governance also considers indirect stakeholders like local communities, environmental groups, media, or regulatory bodies, even if they're not directly doing the work. The California High-Speed Rail project is an example of this governance concept as well. Governmentality, meaning creating conditions where people govern themselves through shared norms and mutual trust in projects, looks like psychological safety, ownership, and team cohesion. In this case, teams align naturally with project goals without needing excessive supervision. The London 2012 Olympics show governmentality in action, in that volunteers and teams operated with a strong shared vision and values. For example, pride, excellence, and sustainability, enhancing coordination. The project included a dedicated Olympic delivery authority that acted as the governance body, aligning diverse efforts under one framework. Project management offices provide tools and standards, but project success also depends on how well people manage emotions, navigate identity conflicts, and balance personal interests with collective goals.